Hi, this is Frank Rauscher again. From the last video, I split that up because it was getting lengthy and I was trying to get the right dimensions going. So I split the video up into the last one and this one so that you can follow through, and hopefully I covered everything well. So sorry about that, but I was getting my numbers mixed up, so I wanted to correct that so that we didn't get too far afield. So follow me on this one, and we should get to the point where we'll be shaping probably on the next video, okay? And what I mean by that is actually getting in and getting the bits in there and really shaping it, so rather than marking it. So bear with me. You'll have to excuse me. I stopped the tape for a second on the idea of measurements here, and I don't know how much I left off with. I apologize. One thing that I do want to make sure is that your center line going through the head is coming down the back. And then I gave you a measurement from the top of the head down, and not a roll like this, but straight out so that you're looking straight down. From here to here, we are trying to get 80. So I put a dot right there. So it's 80 millimeters from here to here as the crow flies, not as a roll in dimension. Then I came out 5 millimeters. And then I came up 5 millimeters and I put a dot. Now, off of this, and I'll try to do this to help out here a little bit. And if I did this before, I'm just trying to clarify things here. I'm doing like a perpendicular line off of this one that came up about 25 millimeters up. And then we're going to go out, and at that point, it's going to be about 17 millimeters over. You put a dot on this perpendicular line. Now, this arc that we had coming across the back here will swing around through that point and then down to the 80 millimeters, okay? All on an arc, okay? So I may not have covered that before, but to also reiterate, just to make sure that this line is in its right position, it should be from here to the outside edge. So if I was looking down, like I look at the tail, and if this is a straight wall going down and I don't see any part of this, and then it's straight up and down. That is in that profile. So we're taking a measurement from a point out here in, and we do it like this. And I'm sorry if I'm getting a little confusing here. From the outside edge to that dot is going to be, and this is for this line coming down, just to make sure you're in the ballpark, is about 17 or 18 millimeters from here to the outside edge. So just want to make sure that this line is where you should have it, so that when you come down 80 millimeters, if you measure in from the outside here in, if you're looking straight down from this edge to that dot, it should be between 17 and 18 millimeters. If you're in that ballpark, then we're good. So this arc is then in the right position, because with this being on a skew or something like that, you're going to get a different dimension. So what I'm going to ask you to do is make sure when you come down with the 80 that from this point over, you have at least 17 to 18 millimeters from the outside edge to that dot right there. Now, what I'm going to do is continue what we were doing here. And I had shown you where we arc down through here, run along this tangent point, and then I'm going to swing up to this point up here and come down and around. So this is one big area I'm trying to nail down. And then I said to you that if we measure down from this point along this arc, and you came down 25 millimeters as the crow flies onto that arc, you would land right here. And it also should be, give or take, about 12 millimeters across here. So you're trying to maintain 12 millimeters across here, and what you're going to do is you're going to come from this point and you're swinging down and around, all the way around, and then you swing in up here. So this one is mimicking this to some extent, okay? Now, once you have that, then we're going to go to the other side, okay? And I'm bringing this down. And let's see what numbers I have over here. I'm using my one that I already prepped before we got on to doing this. And basically, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to come in here. I'm measuring from the top of the head down 80 millimeters, put a dot, come over 5, and up 5. I think I did that right. So I came down 80, came over 5, and came up 5. And I think that's what I did here. I came down 80, over 5, and up 5. Okay. So that is one point. Then the other one that I was trying to get was I came back. Remember, I established that one. So from 80 going back up, I got 25 millimeters. So I'm going to come back 25 millimeters on the 80. So again, you can almost lay this one down. It was 10, 25. So at that point, I am going to draw a perpendicular line. Okay. Excuse me a second. I'm still trying to get rid of whatever's got me. And what I'm going to do is, let me measure that again. I'm saying from the 25 millimeters in on that perpendicular line, I came back, looks like about 15. So I'm going to set right there at 15. So here's what I'm going to do. Where I came with this arc from here to here, I'm going to keep on arcing around here, through there, okay, and all the way down to my 80. My 80's out here, but I'm going 5 millimeters in. So just like that. I'm never getting to the center line of the head here. Okay, so I hope I did that correctly. Let's see. Yeah. Now, the other thing I want to do is, let's see if I did it on this side yet. No, not yet. Let me complete this. We had this leg coming across right here. This is that perpendicular line across. And on that one, I'm trying to remember what I gave you as points of interest here to come around. Let's see. I came out from here. This is not the easy part. Let's see. I have that coming off. And then we pull in. Okay. Let me take a measurement that I have established already. So let me get my 80 down on my original one. 5 over and 5 up. Okay. So the 5 up is going to be from here, and this is going to swing down like this. This is going to come down. Did I get that in the right spot? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm going to erase this. If I took that one up, oh, this is a mistake, and I apologize. I just realized this is fine coming down to here and stops right there, okay? And this is where we came out, down 80, over 5, and up 5, okay? But this is going to continue down, so let me try drawing the whole 9 yards here. And I'm going to come in, excuse me, I'm going to come in at this point and measure from the belly in 10 millimeters and put a dot. And what this is really going to do, is you're coming off of here, which is your step from the tail to the wing. You're going to shoot, and this is all like on an arc. It's not a straight line. You're going to come from here now, and you're going to swing down and join that. So this comes all the way down on an arc, okay? And right here where the tail sort of meets the body, I want you to measure from here in 10 millimeters. And that will be your point that you're shooting for. You got 10 millimeters from here into here. So everything's sort of bend into that. And once you get to that, then you're shooting down to here. And I hope I didn't confuse you on this, which I can understand. Here's where I made my mistake. This coming around here that I'm looking at now should have went right to this. Remember, we came 80 down, 5 over, and 5 up. This is where this should have shot right up to. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to give you a lot of locations, and I'm doing a not so good a job. So I'm going to take a measurement from that point. Let's see. I'm saying that from here now down 20 millimeters. So from this point down 20 millimeters, as long as I'm hitting this arc where it touches the arc. So it's from this point to this point is 20 millimeters. That is where this should shoot in. So when this one, which is lower, was 12 millimeters apart all the way through, it's coming up and it's joining right in there. Okay, like that. So it's 12 millimeters apart here, but we came down 80, we came over 5, and we went up 5. So I took a measurement from here to here on a straight line basis, not the arc, and where from here to here measured straight across to where it touched the arc at 20 millimeters. That's where I put a dot, and that's where this continues on over. Okay, so we got everything straightened out on that one. Now, I'm going to give you one more to close this out, if we can. Excuse me. I have another one I have to follow. So from here to there is 40. Okay. Now, on this arc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from the last point we have here, right here, on the arc, on a straight line basis to where it touches the arc again, 40 millimeters, and that's right here. So from here to here, as the crow flies, not following the arc, but where it touches the arc, put a dot. And then this last one that we were developing comes around and it hits that point right there. Now, what I'm trying to do is getting groups of feathers where the mantle lies, where these different, and I'm going to try to show you. Let me bring mine in. We have the mantle right in here. This is a grouping right in here and here. Then we have another row of feathers, which are these, and it's these coming down here. And what we're doing is we're like grouping these ahead. And then you have another group that came along down here, which is this group here. And all these are just being blocked out so that we know approximately where everything falls. So we're pretty much balanced, where we have symmetry between one side of the owl to the other side, and that's what I'm trying to do. It's a little difficult because of it's a rolling surface, but I'm trying to nail you down as best I can. And if I'm confusing you a little bit, I'm not trying to. It seems that way. So bear with me here. It's hard to get every location nailed down. Now, you can wing it, you know, but then things aren't going to be balanced. And if you notice, even on the drawing here, we're trying to make everything symmetrical, basically about this center line. And that's what we're doing. And even on, like, these drawings, you have this view and this one. And then I have this one for the other side, okay? And I'm trying to nail everything so that this side and this side come out the same, okay? They're just opposites of each other. So that is what I'm really trying to achieve. And we're trying to set up these groups. And you'll see as we start cutting all this in, it'll make a little more sense. But I hope I haven't lost you completely. It's a lot of measurements, and it's a lot of points that to try to convey. I hope I'm doing it well. It's not easy. So let me also show you. I'm going to close out this side similar to what I did on this side. So remember when we came down 80 over 5 and up 5, that's where this arc continued. So I'm going to come over here. I came down 80, came over 5, up 5. So that's our target point for this one that came down and around. And what's happening is from that point, remember 80 down, 5 over, 5 up, that's where we're going to arc down. And we're going to come right into this one. So this here is this here, okay? And if we, and when you're doing this, you want to check to see if it is symmetrical, you know, because both sides should come out pretty much the same. At least that's what we're shooting for. And then the other big one is we're going to take, I think, which is helpful, is from here. I want to remember, just like we did here, we came up. I'm going to try to come up this way. Now, I'm going to lay this ruler on the outside edge right about here and look down and come in 10 millimeters, and we put a dot. So from the outside edge into here is 10 millimeters. So that gives us a point from where this split is between the tail and the wing to come up, okay? And this is, it looks like a straight line. It's almost a straight line. But then this has to come down and swing right into it like that. And that's exactly what we did here, okay? This went from here all the way down to here. So we try to mimic that. And then, if I did that right, we had from that dot up there down to here, we had 20 millimeters. So I'm going to come over here from that dot. I'm going to measure to where it touches 10, 20, touches right there on the arc. It's actually a straight line off the arc, but it goes from there to there. And once it touches the arc at 20, that's where I spot it. Now, we had this one keeping 12 millimeters off of this line. So I'm going to come out about 12 millimeters and put a dot there just as a reference. So we have this point as a reference. We have 12 coming off from this line. And we know that it comes into this perpendicular line here, but it flares up. So I'm going to do a little flip down. And then I'm going to come across. To aid myself, I'll come in and measure 12 millimeters out and put another dot just to give me a target spot. I'm going to come around. I'm going to touch that one, and come right up to there. Okay, so that should be similar. Let's see if I get a little chintzy on the numbers here. Yeah, it could be a little wider. 12 is about out to here, so I'm going to come out a little bit more, okay? Just to make sure I got the 12 coming all the way around. Then it sort of gets a little tighter as you pull in here. Okay? So, we got that. Now, the last thing we wanted to do was we measured from here to here, and that was 40 millimeters, the way the crow flies. Not along the arc, but when it touches the arc down here at 40, you put the dot. So we're going to come over here from this point. We come over, get our ruler to touch at 40 right there. So that means we get this coming off this perpendicular line and swing up. And now we have this side and this side. We have this grouping come all over, and same as that. And then we have one more to go. Let's see how I could do this an easy way. Let's see if I could locate this. This is going to come up right to here. So let me take a measurement out here. I'm going to say I have to hit this point right here. So I'm going to come up on the center line, draw a perpendicular line across. I'm doing a real light line here. So I'm going to measure from here to there. And that is going to come out to 15 millimeters. So, let's see. I came out 15 millimeters from there, but yeah, let me do that. So I got this coming down. I'm going to come up to where 15 millimeters hits this arc. So I got 5, 10, 15, and I put a mark right there. Okay. Now, this isn't, let's see if I can get this also nailed down for you. I'm going to give you some other references. On here, there's another line that we have to pick up. This is where it's part of the mantle, and this gets indented in, and that's the same way on this side. So I'm going to heavy this up so that you can see it, and it swings around up to here, and we already have that. Now, what we're trying to do is get this last leg in. So I'm going to give you a dimension. Let's see, what would be the best way to do this? We have this as a point where it starts, which is up here. And that was along this line where it measures 15 perpendicular straight across, we put a dot. And that is that. Now, I'm going to try to give you a point of interest to go for, which is right here. So I'm going to measure up. Let me do a line perpendicular to that point on my finished one. We'll do it this way. So that is roughly, let's see, 30, 10, 22. 22 millimeters up from there. So I'm going to come up 22 millimeters up from there. So my ruler here, I put a dot right there from this point to that point, 22 millimeters up. And then I'm going to give you a line perpendicular. And then I'm going to give you a measurement out to that point, which is that dot. And I'm saying it's 30 millimeters out as the crow flies. So you're looking here, I come out 30, and I put a dot right there on that perpendicular line. Here's your perpendicular line. I kept it light. And right where that touches, that's 30 out. As the crow flies straight out, you come down, put a dot on it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. This comes down, around, it's going to shoot through that 30. It's going to come up, and it's going to do like an S, a flat S almost. So let me show you how I do that. I'm going to come up, we'll start here, and we'll arc this down like this, okay? Then we're going to come up, and then it's going to bend. I'm going to try to show you this at the same time if I can. I hope this is in the camera. Let me get something to prop this. There you go. This comes up. So this arced around. Then it comes through here. And I should say it comes out this way. Almost following that perpendicular line. And then it swings down like so. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to duplicate that. And I'll do the same thing over on this side. So we came up from the 80. Let me get my millimeters. It was 25 up and 15 out. So we're going to go from the 80, 25 up, right there, and 15 over. And we put a dot right there. Okay. Then we also came out 30 on this perpendicular line. So I'm just going to extend that out. I'm going to look from the top down. I'm going to come out 30 on that perpendicular line. It drops down around here. So I'm going to come off of here, swing through here like this. And I'm trying to make these two look alike, okay? So you're trying to mimicking that. Now from here, remember we came, if the perpendicular line was here, you're coming out a little bit, and then you're swinging down and back to that, okay? And that's it. So if you can get that much done, and if I confused you, definitely write to me again or comment to me, either in the comments section or you can email me. And my email address is RauscherFrank, and Rauscher is R-A-U-S-C-H-E-R, Frank, F-R-A-N-K, 7 @gmail.com. So you can comment to me, and I will try to clarify things for you. I hope this does it. But what you're doing on one side, you're trying to do exactly on the other side. And if I can get you this much done, on the next video that I do, what I'm going to do then is undercut these lines in spots to develop the shoulder in here, as well as we're going to set up, this is the mantle in here. Then as we come down here, we're also cutting in the wing. And just to give you an idea, I don't know how well this will be seen. Here is the shoulder that gets cut in. That's when you finish, that'll be in there, and I'll show you how to do that. Then this is also the step where this line down here creates the wing, okay? Or at least starts it. We got a lot more to do. And then you can see we have groupings. Like this group is this group up in here. Then this is this group right in here. Then this is the next group coming down. And then this is the next group coming down. And what we're doing is we're staging you for these groups. And there's a lot of feathers in the different areas. And I'm trying to get you just to block off the areas. We're not even refining any of the feathers yet. Wait until we get started on that. That's when the fun will begin. But I hope you stay with me on this, and I haven't confused you so much so. I know I confuse myself a little bit every time I do this, because trying to convey all the measurements, it gets a little tricky. And you can see we're trying to make everything the same on both sides, and it's a little tricky. And center lines mean a lot, and especially with this one, this is what I was trying to say to you before. You have to have that 80 coming down a certain distance from the belly in, or the line could go out this way or that way. That's what's going to set you up for that. So if you can follow those instructions, I'd appreciate it. And if you enjoyed what you see here, which is a little confusing at this time, and I'll state that, I'd ask you if you would give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel. And if you have somebody else that you know is interested in doing an owl, or I've done, what's the name? Wrens, I've done otters, I've done cardinals, house sparrows, and so on. If you're interested in that type of carving, and this is power carving that I'm doing, I will appreciate you passing the information on to other people. And like I said, any questions, or if you need any help along the way, just write to me, and I'll be glad to get that information out to you and try to make it easier. This is a little bit on the difficult side of getting the measurements down, but once we do, then everything starts falling in place after that. Almost. We'll get to the face, and that'll be a little bit of a challenge too, but not too bad. We do it in stages, so we're trying not to confuse you. But as you noticed, I've confused you a little bit maybe. So bear with me, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you ever need anything, kits or blanks or patterns or what have you, I do have them available, and feet and eyes and all that stuff. So definitely contact me, and I'll see if I can't help you out. See you on the next video.